Good morning, sunshine. Is it working? Am I in the screen? Hopefully it is. My computer just decided to randomly freeze as I was getting ready to start. I was like, do I restart this thing? What do I do? I am panicking. So you know what? It's kind of weird to start this way. This is our first time in morning report history where we start without the opening credits. It feels so weird, but here we are, you guys. Too much time has already flown by. How are you guys doing today? Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Evie. Thank you so much for joining our channel membership, Jessica. It is so nice to have you here, and it's nice for you to be tuning in as well. Good morning to Amy, Caroline, Mrs. H, Milen, everybody else who has joined us as well. I'm waiting for the rest of you guys' comments to load. I see Venetia, Jaleesa, Ramster, Roberta, Cole, Houston, Matt is here, Brittany, Sunshine's Heart, Shannon, it's me, Angie. How are you all feeling? We've got so much to discuss in today's morning report. It is not even funny. There's actually a last minute story that I have to add. You don't see it in the description box of this video because the news just came out. It's from ABC News. It's the Jay-Z story. Did you guys hear? Those of you who've been, especially tuning into the morning report and everything like that, or just have their hand on the pulse of pop culture in general, you guys know that the Jane Doe who accused Jay-Z of doing inappropriate things to her when she was 13 years old with Sean Diddy Combs, she withdrew her own lawsuit. And then Jay-Z went ahead and started suing her. And he said that she was lying. His people were claiming that Tony Busby, the 1-800 lawyer, forced her to name him in there just so that he can go ahead and try to blackmail and extort Jay-Z. Well, now she is on audio, you guys, admitting that Jay-Z did nothing. Yeah. But the crazy part about that is that she's on another audio from the 1-800 lawyer claiming that Jay-Z was there. And so I'm going to play that for you guys, right? I just want to give you guys a heads up about it because I am still so shaken up, not shaken up like, but still like my head is spinning over it because why would anybody do this? There are real victims in this situation. And if that is not you, why throw your name in the ring, throw your hat in the ring, your story or whatever, and muddy the waters and make all of this look like a joke? Right? I'm really disturbed by it, but we're going to get into that a little bit later on. One thing I'm actually really surprised that I have to talk to you guys about is the Valley Season 2's trailer. How many of you guys watched it when it dropped yesterday? I'm still in the midst of watching Season 1. However, when I saw that preview for Season 2, I said, oh God. And I got to be honest with you guys. A lot of you guys told me I'd love Season 1. It's really good. But so far I'm on like episode 4 and I'm still not all that hooked. I'm not all that interested, to be honest. But when I saw that trailer for Season 2, I said, okay, I better buckle up, try to get through this so that I have a better basis and understanding of who these people are, because Season 2 is not coming to play. They are about to snatch my non-existent wig. There are imploding marriages. So there's Jackson, Brittany, and other couples as well. Prostitution allegations against Michelle, apparently, according to her own husband. And the fact he would even put that on TV is wow. But he is accusing her of sleeping with a billionaire for only $1,500 a pop. Which, okay, maybe, to somebody thinking she's boning a regular dude, it sounds right. But for a billionaire, you might as well be charging $1.50 because that's exactly what it is in terms of the amount of money that these people have. Like, what the heck is that, right? I found that to be so crazy. And again, her husband, like, he hates her at this point. What happens? Don't spoil it. Because I'm still only on like episode 4 or 5 or something like that. But I want to know what the heck happened in that marriage for this guy to despise her on a level where he would go and say something like that, something that will live in eternity in the world of reality television. And like she said, like, I'm the mother of your daughter. It's true. Even if you hate her, even if she did something to you, whatever, if she cheated, whatever. But putting something like that out there, and this can have implications for your daughter and stuff, people coming to her and this and that, like, ew, Lord, like he took it extremely, extremely, extremely far. He did. And I am really, really, really shocked at how that could even come to that point, because I'm really, really shook by it. In addition to that, we also get some cameo appearances from other Vanderpump Rules stars. We see Lala, we see Ariana. I think we see a little bit of Sheena as well. So that's really cool. They're starting to insult each other. Kristen called one of the girls, the one who's married to the Blasian lawyer, she called her a fangirl or something like that. When I went on the Reddit, the girls didn't like that girl. So I said, okay, well, so far I don't see anything. She's pregnant in season 1 and she's just worried about her baby. So I haven't seen anything to hate her over. But again, I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing what actually happens, moving forward. And yes, not of the UK. The Valley is a show on Bravo TV, and it's kind of looked at as a Vanderpump Rules spinoff because quite a few people from Vanderpump Rules are heavily featured as the stars of the show. So you got Jackson Brittany, you've got Kristen as well. And then you see some different appearances from other members of Vanderpump Rules. So again, season 1, I'm not really all that into it quite yet, but just looking at the trailer for season 2, I really, really do think that it's going to be popping off, and I cannot wait. Now, when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, what about Mia, you guys? Mia Moore is talking about or hinting at wanting to join RHOA. She's currently on RHOP, but the last time we saw her, she got run off the reunion by Giselle, who called her a horrible mother. And she fell out with many of the girls, including Stacey, over the way she treated them, or should I say mistreated them in regards to her birthday celebrations. Giselle also exposed the fact that she allegedly lives in Atlanta. And so now it's kind of like Mia saying, listen, I'm not loving my spot on RHOP. Everybody hates me, is turning against me. I'm putting my hat in the ring for the possibility of potentially being cast for RHOA. And I want to know how you guys would feel about the idea of Mia Thornton becoming a cast member on that show. And I don't want to hear anything about her bringing down the class of the show, this, that, or the other. Nope, nope, nope. RHOA, I'm sorry. It already had 4 beatdowns. 3-4 beatdowns on it, right? One, and they were all handed by Portia, right? So the first time, what happened? She dragged Kenya by her hair on the reunion. The second time, she chased her friend down a dark alley and beat her behind. The third time, she tried to get on top of Cynthia and pound her down. Not like that, beat her down. And then there was a 4th time that is currently escaping me. And so there's that. And then when she had her Portia family values, whatever show, like she was trying to beat up on senior citizens, her baby daddy's mom and everything like that, right? With a boom mic and everything. So stop, right? We're not going to say that she is going to bring it to a ratchet level. It's already there. And on top of that, the debut season 16 episode of RHOA, we had Portia and Shamia meeting up in a strip club, right? So I don't think she's that much more different than what they've had going on and what they currently have going on right now, right? But, maybe more so like Roberta is saying, which is that she wouldn't be able to last. I think that's the thing, when I think about members of RHOP or other shows or whatever who would last with the Atlanta girls, I just don't see it. However, here's one thing about Mia that I think is her superpower. She lies so much and she lies so well that it can be confusing to try to get her up against the ropes or anything like that, because she knows how to cover up a lie with another lie. And she will just throw them at you so quickly that your head will be spinning so fast that you just kind of go, you know what? Like, I want to get off this ride, so I'm going to leave you alone and I'm going to ice my head, right? And I think that that's going to be able to help her. That is going to help her survive over there on RHOA, similar to how it helped her survive on RHOP. Courtney says, bringing down the class. Yeah, exactly. Y'all ever been to Atlanta? We see how they get down on that show. And I think that Mia is on par with that personally, right? See, the thing about Portia is she has been beating up so many people over so many years that people even forget half of the knuckle sandwiches that she has delivered. Nada says they would eat her up. FBI says sign her up for WWE, not RHOA. Yes, you guys, honestly, good luck to her. Mia, I kind of look at it as her sort of even confirming slightly that, maybe there is some truth to the rumors about her stint in Atlanta. However, I thought that she announced a breakup with Ink and that Ink was her main reason for living in Atlanta. I could have sworn that she said that she and Gordon are working on, this marriage situation of theirs. So it is a little bit confusing to me that she would now be kind of leaning more towards Atlanta. Who knows, you guys? Who knows? Maybe she'll be one of those ones, housewives who only like come into the city for filming, and then other than that, they're out, sort of a thing. But we'll see. You guys, there's a Teen Mom story I want to discuss with you. Yep, and it's about Amber Portwood, Kung Fu Portwood, Deadbeat Portwood. I think I'm gonna start calling her Deadbeat Portwood. So shout out to the Ashley's Reality Roundup for this, okay? Amber has been on a roll with the TikTok live videos, right? She's just ranting and raving about everything she can. And I feel like we've done a couple of stories about it. I know we talked about something else yesterday, but I can't even remember what it was. So if you guys were here for yesterday's morning report, please do not hesitate to remind me about what we were talking about yesterday. But we were, the last one that I remember, it was about the fact that, she was talking down on her daughter's trauma. She said, Leah, she's exaggerating. She acts like she's been through it, this and that. She hasn't seen anything. She doesn't know real trauma. She doesn't know real problems. I do, right? So it's just her thing these days. We haven't been seeing her on Teen Mom Next Chapter or anything like that. And now I am finding out that the reason why that, first of all, Amber Portwood is not going to be featured on the reunion, or you know what, maybe she'll be doing a Zoom call or anything or something like that. However, Amber Portwood, according to sources over at the Ashley, which we'll get into their direct quotes later, she was not there on the set, and it's specifically because her, or should I say Christina's daughter, Leah Shirley, did not want her to be there. She said that she would be uncomfortable, allegedly, if Deadbeat Portwood was over there at the reunion. And so ultimately the production team made the call to choose Leah over Amber. And I think that is what is setting Amber off, because she has just been on it with all of these back-to-back TikTok live meltdowns. So on Monday's TikTok rant, she was saying that she is going to do everything she can to get Teen Mom Next Chapter canceled. And she feels as though the show is preventing her from reuniting with her estranged daughter, Leah, who she's only contacted about 4 times within the span of the last 365 days. Quote, if the show isn't canceled, I'll get it canceled. The ball is already in my court, honey. I promise that. All right, girl. Good luck with that. Good freaking luck, right? And so they actually reached out to her sources to see if that is, actually happening, if Amber really has gotten the ball rolling and it's working, getting Teen Mom canceled. And they told her that is not the case. There's, quote, we are currently on hiatus, and of course there's never a guarantee that we'll be picked back up again, but we've heard absolutely nothing about it being canceled, so I have no clue what she means. Also, Amber thinking that she could have any power to cancel the show is ridiculous. To my knowledge, she has not been officially let go though, but she's basically asking to be fired, so it's doubtful she will continue on. Now you've got production against you, Amber. And here's the thing, what does Amber have going for herself in case the show actually does get canceled, right? Like, so far this season, we've only seen her in 1 episode, but that's 1 episode that she's paid for. And if this show gets canceled, mind you, these are reality stars. They do not have residual checks, royalties, whatever. If this show is canceled, it's canceled and there's no more money. Does she have an education that she could put to use in the job market? No, she tried studying Pig Latin for a whole week. I don't know how marketable of a skill that is. Does she have any work experience? None that I personally know of. Perhaps you guys are more up to date on her working experience, but I can't think of anything. So I do think that this is something that she needs, and she's just too prideful over the fact that now her daughter is able to use her own voice, and be heard, right? When she's saying that she wants nothing to do with this woman. And instead of taking a look at herself and what she's done to contribute to this, to cause this, she is blaming it on the show, and she is calling her daughter a liar and an exaggerator. So is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know what she's going to be able to do to replace her teen mom income. Granted, she bought her home in cash. So, so long as she lives kind of like a modest life, she should be okay, even with like, kind of like a job that doesn't pay an awful lot of money. But that's the thing. Is Amber even capable of working any kind of a job? I don't know. I don't think she's got the temperament. I think she thinks that she's above any kind of work. I don't know. I do remember her trying to launch that clothing line. Do y'all remember that? Forever Oats. She had that. And then she had Portwood AF, right? The screen printed t-shirts or something like that. But nothing really all that concrete in terms of actual full-blown working experience. And so I really do wonder what she's thinking is going to happen to her if the show were to get canceled. And in fact, I think that she only wants it to get canceled to shut off Leah's voice from the public sphere, because it's through the show that Leah is able to say, hey, listen, F that B. I don't mess with her. She is a deadbeat. She hasn't called me. She doesn't reach out to me. She always picks men above me. I don't want anything to do with her. I've got a real mom. Her name is Christina, and I want to be adopted by Christina. Amber hates that Leah is able to say that on TV, right? And on top of that, Leah's making money from the show. Gary's making money from the show. And since she is avoiding filming so far this season, she's not really making money from the show like that. And so I think that's another thing. She doesn't want to see them continue to make money while she's not making any money. And so now that she sees like, holy cow, my daughter is actually able to call the shots in some capacity. Like, the star, because Amber always said that she's the one who created the show, right? She's the star. And yet she was blocked from the reunion because of her daughter. That is crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. And I think that it is killing her ego-wise. Amy says that Leah is more mature than her. Thank goodness for Gary and Christina. I completely agree. Malen says, I hope they drop Amber, continue with Leah and Christina and Gary. She thinks she is irreplaceable. Exactly, right? Jennifer says Amber only goes around Leah when she has a man, right? When she's a man and when the cameras are up. She only wants to do the whole I'm a good mom shtick whenever she has a man, and she only wants to make money through these interactions as well. Courtney says she gets the show canceled and that takes income from Gary, literally hurting. Exactly. And she is willing to burn it all down to the ground if just to spite her daughter and just to spite her baby daddy as well. And I find that to be absolutely insane. Granted, I do think that Gary and Christina and Leah should bow out of the show, because Gary and Christina's storyline, I think it's damaging to Leah. And you guys already know that from my recaps and whatnot. But I just hate that Amber wants to be the one to shut it down. I want for them to be the ones to do that on their own volition, right? So Shannon's asking who in the right mind would want to hire. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, with the reputation that she's built, right, of violence, of anger issues, all this stuff, it's so Googleable that I don't know how she's going to be hired anywhere. But you know what? At the same time, look at Ryan, the way he destroyed his own family's house, the way he was known as the guy who ran around, shooting stray cats in the neighborhood and stuff. And he somehow still always has a job. And he's known as like the guy who drives while high on heroin. And he's working with cars and stuff like that. So you listen. Maybe if Amber also gets into the trades or something like that, where there's a shortage of labor, like she can get away with whatever she's been up to. But I don't know. Good luck to her. Good luck. I don't think she's thinking this through. I really don't. Theo, I was wondering where you were when I was doing my roll call. I said, where's Theo? Where's Allie? Nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. No, I was actually just talking about you with Campfire, because I was telling him about your comment about his Discord. He's like, oh, Theo is the best. He's always helping people over on the Discord. So shout out to you, Theo. AJ says that Amber needs an exorcism. Listen, I could not agree anymore. Just the cognitive dissonance with that girl is absolutely insane. It really, really is. I wish that she would take a step back and look at the way that she's been handling the situation and why her daughter feels the way that she feels. So a second source did talk to the Ashley's Reality Roundup, saying that removing Amber from the cast could actually potentially be in the works for the future, because of the fact that she wasn't even invited to the reunion for this season that was already filmed in January. Quote, Gary and Leah were there, but Amber was not invited. She didn't decline to go. She was not asked to go. And it wasn't that Gary didn't want Amber there, although I wouldn't blame him considering the horrible things she accused him of. It was actually Leah who didn't want Amber there. She wouldn't have been able to open if Amber had been to be open if Amber had been there, although it doesn't always seem like it. Production will always protect or give priority to the kids' needs over the other cast members. Listen, I'm really, 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 really happy for Leah that they took into account her feelings, and that she was heard and that she was prioritized, because I really do think that she needs that. It still breaks my heart the way that she was talking about her abandonment issues and stuff. And I feel like, these sorts of little shows of validation and love and care and protection are really, really important to her. And so I just, I'm really thrilled for her, and I want nothing but more of that in her life and future forever. They can say, how dare the daughter that gave her money and power through this show for more than a decade start to have her own voice? That's exactly it, right? Like the ego, the freaking ego on this woman is absolutely out of control. It truly, truly is. But here's the thing. Although she was not allowed to be there physically, I do still suspect that potentially they could have invited her to go ahead and do either a pre or post taped interview one-on-one with Dr. Drew, or maybe a Skype in thing from after or later on that gets stitched in. However, I don't know that she personally would have agreed to that, because, if she's finding out she's not invited to the reunion, why do you think, you know what I mean? Like, would she actually do that? Like, she'd probably be like, well, hell no, you didn't choose me, so get the hell out of my face. I'm not contributing a single thing to you guys, right? So I don't know. Jennifer says that in the upcoming episode, they showed Leah receiving a note from Amber. I bet it was a guilt trip. Ooh, I wouldn't be surprised. That is some scary stuff. I didn't see it in the preview. So I'm going to have to go back and see what was actually if we can get a little zoom in on what was actually said in that thing, because you know what, you're most likely right, but I want to see it too. AJ says, Amber's crazy, but I'm interested in her train wreck of a life as long as it doesn't involve Leah. You know what? I think that's fair enough, because I will tell you guys, and I did just finish editing my recap for the last episode. There's not that much going on because they heavily focused on Macy, Ashley, Mackenzie, and Brianna, and their drama just does not compare to this kind of drama. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is true that we do need these kinds of dramatic kind of toxic people on the show, unfortunately, for interest's sake, right? Monica says the most exciting thing Amber had in her storyline was her man running away. And I do agree. How iconic was that? I would love to have Gary here on the channel to talk about that entire process, what it was like to be with Amber, what it was like to run away from Amber. Anything he can mention, I want to know, because that is absolutely insane. You guys, if you're enjoying today's morning report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you enjoy my content. We go live every single weekday morning right now for the next 2 weeks at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, thanks to that time change that you guys had that we didn't over here. But starting from let's say April 1st, it'll be back to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? We do have a word from some of our sponsors that I want to share with you while I take my little water break. But on the flip side, when we come back, we're going to talk about Wendy Williams refusing to return to the memory care facility after making her big escape and being evaluated in the hospital. We're also going to talk about what went down on last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, some more Love is Blind drama, the Friends with Benefits that Lauren was seeing is still speaking out over there on his social media page. And we also have to get into the audio of the Jane Doe. Why don't we do the Jane Doe from the Jay-Z situation right after the break, okay? Because I think that one is the major one that we really want to talk about, okay? So take a listen to what these people have to say. Check out the links in the bio, and I'll catch you in a couple of seconds. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than RHOBH. RHOBH is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. About to pull up the Jay-Z story. Again, you guys, this was a last minute story that did not even really come up until it was too late for me to go ahead and gather the images. But essentially, there was this big lawsuit filed against Jay-Z by a Jane Doe who claimed that he did some very terrible things to her when she was 13 years old, in the midst of Sean Diddy Combs as well. And he has vehemently denied it from the very beginning. And now his private investigators have audio of the woman admitting that she lied. And again, I am just floored over all of this. It feels like a huge slap in the face to victims in this entire ordeal. The way that he was used for drama, salaciousness, or whatever it might be. On the one end, I am angry. On the other end, I'm actually rather confused about what really is going on. Like, what kind of person would be convinced to do something like this if it did not in fact happen. So take a look at the video. I'm just trying to cue it up to the right part. And then we will talk about it afterwards, but feel free to leave your comments in the live chat as well. Okay, so let me press play.
Sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim and agreeing that Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z. Busby did?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording made days after the woman, identified as Jane Doe, permanently dropped her lawsuit against both Carter and Combs last month.
The people around Mr. Carter wanted to know what happened behind closed doors. And so they asked for her to be interviewed. The interview occurred, and the tape speaks for itself. She says, in no uncertain terms, Mr. Carter did not do this. It is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z. And he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing, although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims. She says in the sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these two individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them, and she told them her truth, which was under no.
There you guys go. The story just keeps on changing and keeps on changing, and it has really muddied the waters and confused everybody. And in my opinion, it has even taken away from a lot of the very serious allegations that P. Diddy is currently facing. I don't think it's fair to put out these kinds of allegations against people if you're not going to stand beside them 1,000%. because at the end of the day, I think that Jay-Z's reputation in life has been permanently altered by this. And this has impacted not only himself, but his wife and his children as well, particularly his daughter, Blue Ivy, because these came out right like the day before she had her big red carpet debut for her film, The Lion King, where she was voicing one of the characters. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand, and at first I go, okay, well, maybe she was intimidated or whatever. But you have to remember that from the beginning, NBC News said, listen, this thing is not even adding up, you guys. Like, she said that she met the people from Good Charlotte or whatever that band is called. It's not true. They were not there. She said that her dad came out 5 hours to go pick her up after the alleged incident took place. Her dad said, no, I would remember that. I don't remember that. So in my opinion, this did not happen. And so at this point, I think that, in my world anyway, Jay-Z's name has been cleared in my world. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think that she's going to win this against Diddy either. I don't think this happened. I think that this is somebody who might have some kind of like issue going on where maybe they're just looking for attention or something, because unfortunately there are people like that in the world who do look for attention off the backs of tragedies that happen to other people. I appreciate that people are very trusting, this, that, and the other, but don't forget, not everybody is a normal, good person. There are people who seek to lie about very, very devastating things. We've seen that whenever massive tragedies happen and people want to get either attention or benefits that come to people who were victims of tragedies. We've seen people lie about serious illnesses and stuff. Unfortunately, these things happen. And so as of right now, I don't believe this lady. And it really makes me sad to even say so. Like Deborah says, the story just keeps on changing. The supposed witnesses, everything, it's all fallen apart. And it was very shaky from the very beginning. I think a lot of people really just wanted to believe the worst in Jay-Z and wanted to see this as an opportunity to take him down. A lot of people, for some reason, wanted to see this as an opportunity to take Beyonce down, even though she, has nothing to do with this either. And I can't, I'm really, really, really sad that this has taken place and this has turned the entire situation into a circus. I don't think that lawyer is trustworthy. You could just look at him and see that he gives kind of like snake oil salesman vibes, but I digress. Good morning to those of you who are joining. Welcome to the morning report. I'm seeing some of you guys' comments like at ACSW talking about the time change. Isn't it crazy how this has been throwing us all off? Same here. I'm so like, about the fact that, I'm behind you guys or whatever. We're not in the same kind of like frame we're typically in. My sister, kind of my sister, my friend, my bestie, Julie, shout out to you. She was messaging me earlier. She's like, Grace, no morning report today. I said, girl, with the time change, like for now, it's only 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay. Give it until the end of the month and we'll get back into the regular 10 a.m. Eastern when my time adjusts on my end. Even though it hasn't officially adjusted on my end, I feel it. I feel the impact. So I'm with you guys. And, Jen is saying the same thing as well, you guys. Let's all hang in there together. It is not easy. It really, really is not. Now, you guys, I'm happy that we got the Jay-Z story out of the way because that was like really, really weighing heavily on my head, on my mind for the past little bit because it just came out and it really was shocking to me. I'm like, what was the point of coming in here with extreme allegations like that to recant them when pressed by investigators, but then when pressed by your lawyer, you're like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that he didn't do anything. He was totally there. He totally did this to me. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, that is so freaking weird. I think that, to be honest, here's what I think happened. I think that this is somebody who, again, I don't think this is a trustworthy person. And so they went to this lawyer and she didn't realize that the lawyer would actually like try to pursue this as hard as possible. So I do think that maybe she tried to back out at a certain point when she realized that this was actually going to like go hit the legal world, hit the press and stuff, but it was too late because I do think that this is an aggressive lawyer who wants as much attention and blood and this and that as he can get as well. And it's just really, really ugly. And it's like Theo says Beyonce haters are always looking for any man she has interacted with to paint her in a bad light. It's giving obsessive haters. I agree. Even some of my, one of my friends here in Paris was talking about, I boycotted Beyonce because of these allegations against Jay-Z. I said, do you not see the misogyny in that you think something like, what is anyway, Anyway, don't get me riled up about my bee. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, why don't we get into, I'm trying to debate between the Love is Blind story and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Why don't we do the Love is Blind story? Because for some reason, my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills photos have not yet made it to the control room. So do you guys remember Lauren from this season of Love is Blind? She was the one who had this friends with benefits, so I'll say this F buddy that she was sleeping with up until maybe a week before leaving to film the show and find her husband. And unfortunately for her, the guy that she was screwing is desperate, and I mean desperate for attention. In fact, he is the one who made this photo for himself, and it looks exactly like your typical cast photo for the show, but he is just so overzealous that he went ahead and did that on his own. Okay, so his name is Dan. He is a lawyer. He's 37 years old, and he's been saying an awful lot about his time with Lauren. And so I thought I'd go ahead and share some of the most recent comments that he shared. Okay, so he wants to clear everything up. In fact, he's accusing Lauren of trying to manipulate the situation for television. And I'm actually rather surprised by these allegations. I just do not understand, again, why he chose to name himself and to really continue to make Lauren look like a worse person as it is. You know, I hate that Dave even had her looking like that on TV. And now here comes this guy to make things even worse. In fact, I think that Lauren has handled this entire situation in a great way. So I do want to say, I'm sorry, girl, that this happened. I hate that the situation was so damn messy. Anyway, here goes. Some thoughts. Dave and I's mutual friend knew Lauren before either were officially casted. Lauren and I had seen each other for around 5 months, not 2. She wasn't a secret. This is how David knew I was seeing someone that was casted. So, okay, apparently he already knew heading in. Lauren applied for the show before meeting me. Okay. Lauren told me about this 1 month into dating. So he considers it dating. She does not. We kept things relatively casual thereafter. Lauren and I texted when she was on the bus heading to the pods with other cast members saying we'll chat in a few weeks. Listen, Lauren, you should have cut it clear. A lot of people hate when I say this, but listen, I have to be honest with you about how I feel. She should not have been engaging in this relationship so close to going off trying to find a damn husband. What are you doing messaging this man in the bus on your way to the pods and telling him that we'll go ahead and talk again later? To me, this is unserious behavior. You were trying to find a damn husband. What are you doing? This should have been cut off. It should have been like, hey, listen, I got cast. I'm going into this. I want to focus on this 100%. It was nice knowing you. Thank you for the great time we shared. Thank you for the Grace. It's only 11 a.m. Thank you for that. But I have to let you go. Not, oh, let's talk again later, when I'm hopefully engaged and about to, hang out with my future husband, right? Like, that was weird behavior. I don't know why people want to argue this, because remember in the last season when Tyler, the guy who abandoned his kids and claimed that they were a sperm donation, remember when he was doing that? He was messaging his baby mama will do the exact same way leading up to the pods as soon as he got his phone back. Everybody had a problem with that. How come now all of a damn sudden when someone else is doing it, and this time it's a woman, it's okay. It makes sense. It's fine. I'm sorry. I think it's the same thing. I think that they are both not all that committed to the process, or just making things messier than they need to be. So I'm disappointed that this happened, especially with such a damn chatty patty. This guy is so annoying. Anyway, let's continue on. It actually even gets worse, believe it or not. Our next text was about camera crews in my building, what was happening, and asking to chat. I know that Lauren must have been sweating bullets at this point. What are the odds that of all places that you guys are about to move in, you and your new fiance is going to be in the building of the guy that you were boning the other day? That's crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy. I would have been sweating. Our next text was, throughout this experience, I never disagreed with Lauren's description of our relationship. Lauren asked for me to inject myself further into this and clear the air with mutual friends. I sent a text to Lauren clearing the air, taking the loss, expressing a desire to be kept out of the narrative, and wishing them the best. She could have shown David. Apparently she didn't, I guess. Now, I ran into David the first morning the first morning they moved in. I was cordial, mentioned how crazy this all was, and offered to chat when he had time to get rid of the noise. The noise began when David's sister found out about the engagement days earlier and brought it to the attention of David's friend group. I was not part of this. I said no to production's attempts for me to be filmed. I eventually moved out of my home to avoid them and production. Like, he moved out of his damn home over this entire ordeal. That is wild. This summer after filming, Lauren and I connected for the second time. We had a nice dinner, rehashed everything, and Lauren expressed a desire for me to come to the reunion to help pile on David. I built a platform to have a voice and make light of a crazy situation. I won't be weaponized for TV drama. I hope you all got some good laughs. So now he's claiming that she's the bad guy and she's trying to use him to make her ex look bad, but I don't know that I believe him on that. Lauren was incredibly nice to David. Listen, maybe she's a good manipulator and she has me fooled, but I just do not see her wanting, to do something like that. I think that she has a good reputation, in her community and stuff, just based off of the way that she carried herself. And I think that that's something that she wants to maintain. And I don't see her wanting to jeopardize that over a TV show, to be rather honest with you guys. But maybe you have a different perception of it all overall. In which case, let me head over to the comment section and see what y'all have been saying. This is a mic check, by the way, 1 2 1 2. If you're watching live, let me know in the chat what you think, or if you're part of my playback posse watching the replay, let me know in the comment section what you think, okay? So let's see. Not the amateur Photoshop. That reminds me of when a friend edits herself into a Real Housewife, right? And doesn't it also remind you, remember when Leah was dating that guy? Remember she was dating that guy who liked to wear like the women's clothes, Jalen, and he photoshopped himself into a fake cover of Vogue. Yes, he really did. Yup. That's what it reminds me of. Star says, been a while since I got a live. Hey, Star, how you doing? Were you watching us from today? Eastasum says, did we discuss Ariana Grande cheating on her? Stop. Ariana cheating again. I'm going to star this and come back to this, East Awesome, because I have no freaking clue. Is that why, like, they haven't really been seen with each other? Like, not even on the red carpet of Wicked stuff or anything like that? Y'all, let me know. I have no idea. Listen, it's not like I'd be surprised. That's one thing about Ariana. She's going to cheat. She is going to cheat. But did she really? I hope SpongeBob isn't crying. He better not, after the way he did his wife and child. Good morning, Ramel. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a great day. By the way, you guys, Ramel has an awesome pop culture channel here on YouTube. Definitely feel free to check out his content as well. FBI says, Grace reports. Oh, thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you. Fake cover of Vogue. Yup, sure did. And Kate, yup. I'm Team Lauren on this as well. I think that both of these guys are just... I think that they're like, first of all, David was not attracted to Lauren. Okay. He already told us before they got the phones and before he knew this stuff. And and I talked about this in my recap of their relationship on the show, but he told us one-on-one in his confessional, he does not typically date teachers because he does not find teachers attractive. Right. And that's what Lauren's job was. And then he meets Lauren and he looks her dead in the face and says, oh, you do look like a teacher. AKA, he does not find that girl attractive. So he was just looking for any kind of excuse to get away from her. Unfortunately, the excuse or way or whatever that he chose to do it was to make her look like, look bad, like she's loose or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with being loose, but, and it just wasn't okay. And now this guy, he just wants his 5 minutes of fame. And it really, really sucks for her because she seems like a genuinely sweet girl. Good morning, Melissa. Nice to see you. Dwayne says, a lawyer using buzzwords and spinning the narrative. Notice he kept popping up. I don't believe him. I agree. Nobody came searching for him. Now, all of a sudden, he's been asking the show to keep him out of the narrative. He never wanted to be involved. And what are you doing like on Instagram? What are you doing photoshopping yourself as a contestant on the show and everything? What are you doing coming up with your own tagline? It's weird, it's one thing to do all of this and actually show up on the show and, be shameless in your search for attention, but you can't do this stuff, then turn around and act like you're above all of the drama and all of the attention. That just does not make any sense. By the way, Jaleesa, I saw you coming for your mom. Oh my God, Jaleesa, you are going to be on time out for that. Oh, you guys, did you watch last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Because, you know, there were a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. For some reason, StreamYard will not accept the photos I took. I got these screen grabs of the moments I wanted to discuss with you guys. It's only like 4 moments or whatever, but I'm kind of upset that they're not letting me put them up here. So let me just tell you. Overall, I've been enjoying this season of the show. You know, is it like super compelling, must-watch television? No, but it's the kind of stuff where you go, you know what, I really enjoy like keeping up with this. You know, it's not too toxic, not too dark or anything like that. Like, it's cool, it's fun, it's got its funny moments, it's got its dramatic moments. I think that they've got a good balance right now, and I'm really genuinely enjoying seeing what's going on with everybody and following the evolution of their romantic relationships and their platonic friendship relationships as well. And this episode in particular talked a lot about like the marital and just relationship drama that everybody's going through. And that's something that RHOBH has always been very good for, you know, is that the girls, even if they're not married or whatever, they do have a lot of relationship drama to share with us on the show. And that is definitely something that I appreciate. The only person who's been able to keep their relationship 1,000% off the show without question is actually Kathy Hilton. Do you notice that nobody questions her about Rick? He doesn't even come for any kind of like little, you know, pop up, nothing. He will not be seen at all. And you know what? If he likes it, I love it. Good for him, whatever. But I do, you know, I would have liked to see at least a little bit of him on the show, but I digress. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe I went ahead and put it a little bit higher up here. Oh, look, I found my photos. Okay, you guys, give me one quick second because now I'm about to go ahead and put these photos up. I even had that photo of the girl whose husband was accusing her of being a prostitute to billionaires. Yes, we are in business, you guys. Once again, good morning and welcome to the Grace Report. We go live every single morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for now to talk about the day's hottest stories. If you're enjoying this show, please feel free to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you enjoy my content and you want to continue to be recommended my videos, okay? So first of all, can we talk about why all of a sudden, after like how many 15 seasons of the show, like 20 seasons of the show, Kyle is suddenly trying to speak Spanish in every scene? You know, I started noticing it in last week's episode. I said, huh, okay, like that's interesting. But in this week, she just was going on. And I'm sorry, but after being married to a Spanish speaker, a Mexican man for 20 years, and raising your children, you know, supposedly to be bilingual and having people who speak Spanish in your house for like decades, this is the best you can come up with. I'm sorry, but it's not good. It's at least it's better than Sutton and Dorit's level of French, because these two girls, they love to try and flex their French, but I'm sorry, their French is woof. Absolutely terrible. But I digress. That is my bee eating cracker moment. I just, you know, I'm like, what are you doing, Kyle? Like, you're forcing it. You're really forcing it. And after 20 years, you sound like you just learned on Duolingo and you went off to vacation. But I digress. So anyway, PK, meanwhile, he has a confrontation with Dorit at a very fancy restaurant, and he blows up her spot. So she told the girls that he completely blindsided her with this 7-page email full of all of these financial demands, and he was so angry and mean. And then he says, well, Dorit, why don't you tell the full story? Because in that email, I talked about how I don't like the way you treat me. I think you're controlling. I think you're mean. I think you do this. He, like, you know, and Dorit never mentioned a single part of that. In her recounting of the story, Dorit was a victim and he only wanted to talk about finances and sticking her with the bill for everything. So according to PK, one of his gripes that he's got with her is that he moved out of the house, right, that's being foreclosed on. And he left her there with the children so that she could enjoy the big house that she always wanted, right? And then he took this tiny apartment with his own money to go and pay for. But apparently, Dorit wasn't even happy with with that either. She wanted to control where he was going to live and whatnot, and he just was not happy with that at all. I'm not surprised Dorit was lying. Dorit is shisty. She really is. She's shady. She's shisty. So I'm happy that he's coming out here and blowing up her spot, because, you know, I think that that's something that she's been getting away with for a very, very, very long time. And so he's had enough. You know, it's not fair that somebody's over there on television painting a particular image of you that may not be true, or it might be a gross exaggeration while hiding their own issues, right? And that's exactly what Dorit's been doing. My husband's an alcoholic. Let me tell anybody who will listen, right? Ramel says, I'm currently watching the EP of Beverly Hills now. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Watch it live and get the recap at the same time. Good morning, Michelle. Ali, good morning, girl. I hope your meeting went well. Jaleesa. You guys, wait. Theo says that he doesn't like Kyle. Oh, listen, you know, I used to love her so much. I did. I loved her so much in the beginning, but she really has changed. But I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, because I think it's the marital problems that had just been weighing on her, the constant cheating and whatnot. And now that that's all out in the open. By the way, I do want to get more into that, you know, as we go on, because I find Kyle to be a complete and utter hypocrite when it comes to Maurice's activities, Mo's activities, right? Ramel says Kathy would never share anything personal on the show. Her life is perfect, right? That's what she wants us to think. And she has all of these people wrapped around her finger. They are playing along with her dumb, senile act and stuff. And it is just absolutely insane to me. I feel like all of us online can see through the act and see that she's actually a really mean person who plays it off as being dumb and ignorant. But, oh God, these people, they just want to be invited to her party, so they will never, ever call her out. Come on, y'all. Yes, Theo, c'est en français, c'est tellement terrible. You know, and it's so funny. There was like a thing that she says, you know, I forgot what she said, but it was so funny. She says, oui, je parle français. And I'm like, girl, it's not J, it's je. It's like she's speaking in past. Like I spoke, you know, like, oh, her and Dorit, when they do it, it's so bad. But I digress. Now, what about the divorce? So Dorit keeps on asking PK, do you want a divorce? Like, what is going on? Like, where are we going to end up? Like, she's desperate to be with this man. And I genuinely do not understand why. Like, I know that she really, truly loves him and stuff, but he's treating you terribly. He is airing you out on TV. He has left you in financial, I think you've left yourself in financial ruins, actually, based on your desperate need to show that you're rich and this and that. But, you know, he's jumping ship. He doesn't want anything else to do with you. When are you going to say, you know what, like, fine, I'm going to move on with my own life, right? Listen, Dorit may not be the best person, right? But Dorit is a cute girl, and she could find another man, a richer man, to take care of her and to take care of her kids, and who will worship the ground that she walks on the way that PK used to, right? So it's crazy to me that she is still running after this man who is very obviously out. And I think he wanted to tell her that he does want the divorce. However, she obviously is still too fragile to hear that. So he's like, you know what? Why don't we be friends for 6 months and then we'll circle back? Girl, absolutely freaking not. Okay. It's not even let's try our relationship. Let's breathe. Let's be friends for 6 months. That is so weird. So then you see Kyle talk to Mauricio. The photos at this point had come out about him kissing a girl at the airport in Greece. And so she suspects that the girl called the paparazzi or called her friend to take a picture so that they could sell it to the press. And she's just crying because he's kissing someone else, and that means it's over. And I'm like, girl, this is one thing about Kyle. She is fake as a $3 bill. She's like Portia from RHOA, always the victim. Kyle, you've had a girlfriend for the past 2 years that you were parading around in the show, that you were acting so shy and giddy on the show over, that you're still hanging around with and dating. And this guy, he kisses one girl on the mouth in one airport, and you're going to have a meltdown over it. And you're crying about how that makes you feel and your family and your kids. Stop it. Like, give it up, Delicious. Like, we're on to you. We know you have a girlfriend. We know you're in love. Stop it. It's like Garcelle says, if you're a lesbian, be a lesbian, girl. It's 2025. You live in California. We already know that might be the case, right? Stop. You know, you're not like this is and we saw Mauricio trying to, in the 11th hour, try to get this relationship back, like both on RHOBH and especially on his show, Buying Beverly Hills. Like he was trying to connect with her and she was so over it. You know, her friend had just unfortunately ended her life. And so that sent her in a tailspin, on a health kick, all this stuff in like one direction. And he was like, wait a minute, what's going on? He kept trying to chase and connect with her, but she'd already replaced him with Morgan Wade. And now she wants to cry because he replaced her right back. Stop it. You know, I stop. I'm so sick of this girl, you know, and her victim shtick. I really, really am. Anyway, maybe you guys have something else to say. Let me go ahead and see what y'all had to say about the show and about the episode. East Awesome says Dorit has the IQ of a Post-it. At this point, I hope PK wins everything in spousal support. I'm tired of her mediocrity and wasteful spending. You know what? You and me both. Not to mention that picture she liked on Instagram. You know what? She can go ahead and choke at this point. Michelle says, I think Kyle is so lost. I used to love her too, but I feel for her. I agree. She's really, really been going through it. And I think that she has hit the wall at that point. And one thing about her, though, is I wish she would step into who she is instead of attempting to be the victim in everybody's story. It is tired. Exactly, Theo. That gets them every damn time. And it's rather basic, but I digress. Stephanie, hello. Good morning. I missed y'all the time change, right? I feel so validated with everybody coming here talking about the time change just messing us all up. Listen, you guys, just 2 more weeks, and then we'll be back in the same time difference. Jesus, it has really, really, really thrown us all for a loop. Elizabeth says they're choosing Leah because she's almost 18. Exactly. Oh, you know what? That's true. They do want to spin off with those kids eventually. And so it's time to start courting the next generation. Well said. Star says, oh no, I'm so sorry, Star. Ouch. Tell him you lost the ring, okay? And say, you know what? As friends, thank you for that gift. It was a wonderful gift you gave me. You're not getting it back. Actually, you know what? I would have loved to give it back to you, but I lost it. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Theo says, I don't understand why Kyle cares what Mauricio's doing. She was. Kyle, like, do you think we were born yesterday? What is this? If you're a lesbian, yeah, Garcelle really ate her up with that. And then she tried to play victim over that comment too. Like, what is wrong with someone telling you, be who you are, I love you, I accept you either way? Like, why does she always have to find a way to, there are people like that where they will always twist and contort what you say or every situation to find a way to feel sad and to feel victimized by you or by situations. Like, just stop it. Good morning, Brandon. Nice to see you. I'm dead. Your sense of humor cracks me up. Thank you. Kyle is me. I be the same. Jaleesa, no. Why would you? I see you as like that girl. Like, you'd be like, absolutely not. You'd be like, you know what? She ain't that cute type of thing. That's like the vibe I'd get you. I'm right though, right? You guys, please let me know. What do you think Star should do? Star should hide the ring, right? She lost the ring. And he says that he's her friend, and friends understand that things happen with jewelry. They get lost at times. They do. Maybe finance yourself a vacation with the ring money or something like that. Thank you, Brandon. I completely agree. I'm happy that you guys feel the exact same way. It's, again, I like her generally, or at least I used to really like her, but she needs to stop. She needs to come up with something else. Sarah says, with a P. Diddy allegation, sometimes I think victims are threatened. Yeah, you know what? That very well could be it. But don't forget, her own dad said, you know what? I don't remember any of this. And in my opinion, there's no parent that would not remember driving 5 hours to a different state to go and rescue their 13-year-old daughter. To me, that as soon as the dad said that, it was already game over. And then on top of that, the fact she said people were there. And then when they reached out to the people and their managers, they said these people were in a different country performing that time. She never talked to these people. What are you talking about? Ramsey says there are people who have a problem. Yes. Julissa, you might be influencing me because I know somebody and I want to air this person out, somebody with a problem for every solution, but I'm not trying to get spanked. So let me just say, yes, Ramster, yes. And I'm actually so shook by this comment. I have to cover my mouth. I'm like, yes, tell me about it. And those people are so damn exhausting. exhausting. And I agree with Brandon. You guys are truly, truly on it. And I can't wait to see what those of you who are watching the playback and my playback posse are about to say about all of this tea. Okay, look, Star, everybody's saying you got to hide it. It's a gift. You got to hide it. You got to hide it. And go ahead, get yourself a nice vacation, a nice massage or something. You deserve it. Oh my God. Like the audacity. Here's one thing. It's one thing to call off the engagement, right? But then when you say we should be friends, now you're taking the piss and you must pay. That's the Scorpio in me coming out. Like, you know, it's usually like, okay. But if you say something that is just so like, what the F, you know, like, I'm going to go in, right? I am. FBI says, sorry, the time change threw you off. The time change has allowed me to actually make a live. Oh, that's awesome. After 2 weeks, I'll try to continue. I always catch like 2 minutes before the end. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you'll be able to tune in, you know, even if it's for the last 20, 30 minutes or something like that. I've left your comments in this week's live streams. Star, I was there when you lost the ring at my house party. You guys are the absolute best. Thank y'all so much for sending in your love, support, your advice to Star. Keep the ring. If he truly wants to be friends, you won't out. Exactly. Friends do not take gifts back. It was a gift from a friend, you know, to celebrate your birthday, to celebrate your promotion, to celebrate something. Thank you, Katie. That is so, so nice. Trash took itself out, Star. Yup. We're all with you, girl. You've got this. So beyond tired of Amber. So am I. They called off a friendship. You know, because there are some states where they say that the engagement ring, you have to give it back. It's a conditional gift or something like that. But this man is saying it's a friendship. So no, technically this does not apply to you, Star. I love that, Ali. I can move on. You can't. MDF. You guys are killing me today. Shannon says it's rude. You have to give the ring back. But Shannon, it was a gift from a friend, not a fiance. You guys, thank you so, so much for joining me for another morning report. I had the best time chatting with you guys, and I'm looking forward to sharing more stories with you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, if you enjoyed this episode of the show, please don't hesitate to go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's episode. Take care. Sorry once again, Star. You know, I really, really hope you find something to do that brings you joy as you get through this moment, okay? Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow, you guys. Bye.